So welcome to another installment of Communicast, which is community broadcasting, highlighting the good things that people in our community are doing, the leadership roles that they've taken, and certainly in these very strange times, it's nice to have some positive things to look at and to know how people are helping each other. With me today is Jeanine and Company president, and Jeanine and I have known each other a long time. We met at the Manchester Community Music School when my kids were little. An amazing fundraiser, amazing community builder, and that's kind of my focus, is people who build good communities and good things around businesses that are doing good things. So welcome, Jeanine, and what's happening in your life these days?
Thank you, Keith. I so appreciate that introduction, and it's been a real honor to have you in my life, and for all these years. I certainly learned, quite a bit from you as well, and it's been good to have an equal exchange, so that's good. So what's going on in my life? Well, like everyone else, trying to respond and help people respond to the effects of COVID-19.
Yes.
So here at Jeanine and Company, and it's just me, it's just Jeanine, but what I do and have been doing for the past 6 years is to help nonprofits, to help them to do many things. So communicate with their donors, to raise funds, mostly bigger donations like capital campaigns and major donors. Help organizations with strategic planning, so to look at the future and to plan for that. To help leaders as a coach. So I've been a coach to executive directors and management teams of nonprofit organizations, which has been extremely rewarding. And to help people with communication in the form of networking.
And what a time this is to need very important communication and timely. It's a constantly, rapidly evolving situation around us.
Absolutely, it is. And I find that has been the focus of most of my conversations with clients and with, some good friends of mine in the nonprofit community, is how does one maintain that leadership focus while having to make very difficult decisions?
Yes.
Around cash flow and around resources that affect the most vulnerable people in our city and in our state, and also affect the people who are working their hardest, the staff members of these nonprofits, all the time with little resources to do,
Right.
Excellent work. So I said to someone today, actually, I think just about 15 minutes ago on a phone call, you have to climb the mountain that's in front of you first. And then you have to go down the backside of that mountain. And then you have to look up and see what's the next mountain that's in front of you. And that is the best way to tackle what is happening.
Such great guidance. I've known you for a very long time, and I know your history and story, and you are so good with fundraising and that focus, and so good with leadership, because when people start to get scared, that's the point at which you need somebody that is clearly focused on the here and now. We can't do anything about tomorrow. We can't do anything about what we don't know.
Yeah.
And so just what you're saying here to me is such important guidance for people. And that's one of the reasons I really wanted to talk to you online this way is, I'm a business strategist and I help build communities, I think, around people who are important, who are doing important things in these troubled times. And so it's great to see that you're doing that you've got a clientele that are responding. The thing I would ask is, what's the most interesting thing you've learned as you're going through this? You have such deep skill set. And so what's the newest, or what have you come away with at this stage?
I think the thing that I've come away with is the importance of having the first question always be, in the most sincere way, is, how are you doing right now? And how are you taking care of yourself? I've always, and more so in the past few years, been a big proponent of self-care, because I think we all really need it and we don't do it enough for ourselves. As I say to people, I've had people say to me, wow, you self-care again, you do a lot of self-care. And I say, well, if I don't take care of myself, who will?
Right.
And that kind of puts off a couple light bulbs. So, oh yeah, that's true. I'm in charge of my own self-care. But I think that in times like these, and it comes to light much more so.
Yeah.
That,
And we've gone back to telephones, and we've gone back to visual of necessity. We're not just texting anymore. So it's a great point. How are you doing is, it used to be one of those little pass-offs. Yeah, great. And today it becomes even more important. It's interesting that you say that, because what I've done is working with that same thought. I always try to get either beginning or the end. Is there anything I can do for you to help?
Yeah.
Not sure what that is or could be, but just as when we started talking, I want to do something just as you do, and that ability to, how are you doing, opens a door, particularly with sincerity. So is there anything we can do to help you these days?
What a great question, Keith. Thank you. I think, to keep that positive message out there is one of the most important things that we can do. There is going to be an end in sight to this. I don't think anyone knows when that end is going to be, but it will not be forever. We will get back to a new normal, and until that time, I say, let's just keep in touch and let's keep reaching out to each other.
Very good.
And also I think, because you mentioned fundraising, I just want to give this message that I've heard from some people that they're a little bit of afraid to reach out and ask for assistance when they look at what's happening from an economic standpoint. And I just want to say that here's how you can view money. And this is important, that everybody has lots of tools in their toolbox. In some people's toolbox, money is one. And if you give people the opportunity to use those tools in their toolbox to do something that they care about with their heart, then you are giving them a great gift versus them giving you a gift. So think about that, and don't be afraid to advocate on behalf of those people that you are trying really hard to help.
Thank you. Those are beautiful words to end with, and I appreciate your time and the conversation, and keep up the great work you're doing, Jeanine.
Thank you.
Good to talk to you.
Thank you so much. You too.